It's all fun and games till someone gets shot.
Welcome back to the channel again, everyone. Today we're going to be talking again about the feedback portal, but this time we're talking about a portion of it that I never made a video about before. I told you guys about the part where they're reporting cheaters. I told you guys about the part where you can report bugs and glitches and inconsistencies, but there's another part where players can request things. Anything. You could request whatever you want. Let's just look and see what's in here. Some of these got a lot of downvotes. Some of these got a lot of positive votes. The developers said that they will implement some of this stuff into the game. So, I mean, let's just look and see what we find. So the first one, 8 upvotes, 25 downvotes. I like nerfs, less tracking on most moves on the move list, less block stun, make using mix-ups more punishable. We all want nerfs. Also, King back 3 power creeps keeps getting countered and doesn't play the right animation. Fujin Rank, who submitted this. First half of what they were saying kind of like had me. I was like, yeah, this sounds, but then also King, everything went bad right there. I want Heat Smash and Rage Arts to do less damage while being more interesting in terms of their impact on gameplay. Tekken 7 allowed Rage Arts to be jab checked due to the hit stop effect. This allowed players to jab quickly and pull back for punish, which rewarded smart defensive play. I like that. I don't think the developers will do it. I don't think the developers will do that. They want these comeback mechanics to be unstoppable. Didn't they add a counter hit on Rage Arts to make them do more damage? You could get counter hit now. That request is the opposite direction of the way that the developers are sprinting. So they're not going to let you jab and block after then launch it. Not doing it. Also an idea, we could utilize Rage to break combo. Oh, okay. All right. You know, I did a poll one time asking people if they wanted a, type of heat activation combo breaker style mechanic. And a lot of people said no. Even though people hate how combos operate, heat, bursts, tail spins and stuff like that, they still didn't really want like a heat counter to that, because you can activate heat to extend combos, but what if you were in the air and you could activate heat to stop a combo? Players didn't like that idea, and I understand. It's not Mortal Kombat, it's Tekken. People don't like heat ruining the game, and then more heat mechanics being added into the game to make it feel more unlike Tekken, right? I understand where this person's heart is at, but people don't want more heat to deal with heat. Before we move on, let me tell you about today's sponsor, 1v1me. It's a major supporter of NA Tekken with a massive roster of players, such as Ninja Killer, Joe Crush, Trizzy the Rapper, Shinblade, Landa D, and many, many more. If you're watching this video, chances are you watch Tekken Tournament. So here's an opportunity to make money daily using the 1v1me app. You can also stake on live in-game events like Next Round Winner, Next Touchdown, or Quarter Winner.
Now look at that. That's another combo right here. This could be the match.
That's so good.
Hold on, drops the combo. That's a bad drop though. Come on, K-Dash. Lock in for the stakers.
1v1me paid over $250 million for games like Tekken, Street Fighter, Madden, and Call of Duty, giving you multiple games to make money from. Stake on who you think will win. Keep track of the players' performances with the leaderboards and profiles. Click the link in the description and sign up using code Moonsault to get a up to $25 back risk-free offer. First, I would like to thank the Tekken team. Skip, thanking the Tekken team. Skip. Nah, let me read. For their hard work and congratulate them for 2 very positive patches in a row. Your hard work is paying off, and the game is now in a much better state than before, but unfortunately there is still much work to be done. For this submission, I will be focusing on King. Please adjust 322 to no longer transition into Jaguar Sprint. I agree. It's already an extremely damaging wall combo. To also be receiving at the end of one of the best Oki setups in the game is very overwhelming. Please remove homing from King's throws and heat. Please remove ground hitting properties and tracking from King's Heat Smash. Exactly, bro. Why does it hit grounded? And why does it track? Make down forward 2-1 a non-delayable string, or make down forward 2 at least -10 to encourage more decisive use of the move. This person is cooking. This person's cooking, bro. If they did this, okay, they're not going to do it because they protect King a lot. King is one of the most popular characters in the game, and they said he was the most popular character in Japan. And they are trying to cater hard to the Japanese players, so they make the characters that they're interested in powerful, right? And King is a character who has so much privilege and so much baby buttons, and it doesn't make sense for a grappler to have such strong Oki, such strong damage, heat smash that is one of the most damaging in the game, but also hits ground and it tracks. And then, yeah, all of this stuff makes perfect sense. I agree. The King players will probably try to give you a bunch of downplay about why he doesn't need this and doesn't need that and blah, 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 blah. But you guys, please listen. If you are a King main and you have any type of disdain for Tekken 8, you have to understand that your character in its current form is a big part of that. And if the developers aren't willing to nerf King, then there will be no future for Tekken. There's a couple of characters like that, bro, where if we can't get this character to stop being this way, Tekken dies. Xiaoyu low hitboxes allow her to hit opponents behind her. I understand, just when you think the Moonsault is learning how to read. I understand the concept of the hurtbox extension, and it is without a doubt the reason I got hit. Still, interaction like these make the game more frustrating. 51 upvotes. This seems like a balanced take, but we'll see. Wow. Hurtbox expansion. Yeah, hurtbox expansion, but you know, yeah. So obviously we would want that to go away. So that's a good one. 76 upvotes. I just want to know if it's possible in the future to have online practice modes be accessible through the lobby system instead of player lounge. The reason why the developers have lounge exclusive features is because they originally planned to have advertisement all throughout the lounge, and their way of making players see the advertisement was to make you go there to access certain things. So that's probably why they would not do it. But also with the way that Tekken 8 is progressing, they haven't had an advertisement on the ceiling in like a year or so. And there was one developer who said that the price that they said, which was about 800,000, is way overpriced.
So Nakatsu was just mentioning, look at the ceiling of the Tekken Fight Lounge. Many of you are probably familiar with this area, but you can see it's changed to reflect the Tekken 30th anniversary logo, and that one of Uniqlo as well. So Rado was just mentioning that you know, we can do collaborations with many different people with this area. It's quite flexible. So even, you know, personal people, if you have a spare 850K or so, come talk to us and we can put your message up on the ceiling there.
It was probably overpriced because they were super cocky. They were super arrogant in season 1, and they probably thought that they were untouchable. So it would make sense that they would be charging other companies an arm and a leg. Tekken 8 Jukebox feature exhibits inconsistent volume levels across the soundtracks from different titles. This is particularly noticeable with Tekken 4 and Tekken Revolution tracks, which are significantly quieter than others. So I agree with this one, and this is also something that I noticed as well. The Tekken 8 music is much louder than everything else. Lily's down forward 3+4 always have weird interactions against sidestep. It clips way too much while the opponent is 90 degrees to her. Okay, so let's see the clip. So this is one of those moves where you try to sidestep and you get hit by it. Yeah, I mean, I hate stuff like this. This is why I kind of don't like Tekken. This is why I soft quit Tekken, because you're so, you can't move, bro. When you try to move it, like, you know, the opponent is going to do some lunging type of weird move, and then you just get punished for it. And then you get hit with a full combo. Like, this is going to be a huge, crazy combo, and it's going to be Oki and mix-ups and all of this stuff. Like, I really dislike that aspect about Tekken. I'm not, you can have big damage. You can have powerful attacks, but allow me to move safely and, like when I know they're going to press a button and I know relatively what button they're going to press, and I try to move out of the way, let me move, bro. If they did that, this game would be so much better. But no, they want the trash player to be able to connect with you and hit you. About the Victor LAL down to nerf. I get the nerf, but with +5, it's useless. Tekken players love using the useless word. They love it. I was talking about Jun Kazama's NHE 4-1+2 and how that move is a problem, and all the Jin mains said it was useless. In the next update, the developers nerfed it. Useless is so overused. Anytime anyone used the word useless, I don't want to read anything else. we're skipping this. I hope that in the future that tailspin will be changed so that every character can only use it once per combo. It's one of the main reasons that combos in general have become too long, and it creates an imbalance in some of the characters. This is another thing where you have to ask the question, are we too deep into the lifespan of the game? These kind of big overhauling changes would have happened in season 1 or season 2. And in season 2, they went in the other direction where they gave more characters the ability to do it. It's weird because if you think about it, people hated Dragunov and Yoshimitsu for their long, high damage combos. And in season 2, the developers nerfed all those characters, but then they also gave all the other characters tail extensions that gave them the damage and the travel that Dragunov and Yoshi was hated for having. They're probably not going to revert it, and we just have to wait and see what they do for the next game. Improve movement and reduce excessive tracking. So another one about tracking, I feel that the heat system already provided Tekken 8 with a strong offensive identity and movement-based gameplay, but this universal armor mechanic such as Power Crush can sometimes feel unnecessary or excessive when combined together. These overlapping systems may reduce the importance of movement, spacing, timing, and defensive decision making by allowing players to bypass neutral interactions too easily. Because of that, I think Power Crush and Universal Armor mechanics could either be removed entirely, reduced heavily, or made more specialized and situational. Well, the reason why they don't do that is because they want low-level players to basically spam it. It's a reason why a lot of new players spam Power Crush instead of actually trying to block and punish. They just naturally, subconsciously found out that that's more effective. Why would you sit there and block and let your opponent do all this stuff and then try to react perfectly, whether that be a crouch, a sidestep, a punish, when you could just try to eat their attack and Power Crush through and then do your offense on them? It's a short-sighted way of playing the game, but it's effective nonetheless. Because playing defense is the hardest part about Tekken, and the speed of the Power Crush and the powerfulness of it allows people to just basically have the opportunity to try and never play defense, right? So it's a problem in the long run. Once those players get high up in the rank, they're going to suffer because people will start blocking their Power Crushes and punching it and calling it out, and then they're going to suffer. But it's a short-term solution. And when you talk about inflation, if you can get all the way up to God Destruction by Power Crushing and abusing these things, are you really even facing the consequences of not learning true defense? Oh, this one, what is this? 29 downvotes and 1 upvote. Bro liked his own post. Why law 1+2 nunchuck hit when you're in heat, lose heat the same amount of heat of them blocking it? The time recovery and removal patch already makes you have heat faster anymore. Pack it up, bro. Bro used to just spamming nunchuck and having infinite heat. Nice try, bro. Hello, can we please stop moves from shattering Power Crush without installs or while in heat? For example, Fakuran back 4, his jet kick should not be able to shatter a Power Crush unless he's in heat or enhanced state. Oh, this move? You guys agree with that take? You guys agree with that? I would agree. I would agree. You can have it stop breaking it. Devil Jin to bring back his old identity and reduce the frustration of playing against him. Down forward 1, make it -3 on block. Whoa, look at the even split on likes and dislikes. Make it -3 on block, increase the range to match the claw visual. Down for 2, remove the morning claw transition. This one is like, it ain't happening. The developers designed this game to be a type of way, and they're not gonna nerf it to be something else. They're not taking off stance transitions. Like the person said, remove stance transition. They're not doing that. They're not doing that for no character. Have they did that once throughout the entirety of this game where you were able to transition into something and then they just took it away? You can't do nothing anymore? It probably is something like that, but it's probably rare, and they're not just gonna wake up and start removing stance transitions. Like, it's wishful thinking. One could argue whether or not Devil Jin needs this. I'll let you guys do that, but the point that I'm talking about is what's realistic. The developers ain't even, if they were doing that, we wouldn't even be in this situation. Thanks for the support of Tekken 8 in the community and the players who support the game in general. Here's a list of changes for Tekken 8 to see in the game. Make mids less safe, reduce tracking, attacking prematurely on sidestep, remove unbreakable throws. I agree as well. People who say why get rid of unbreakable throws because it's the same thing as a low, I say yes and no. No, because you know, when you tell someone to look at the hands and break a throw, they kind of get lost in the sauce because there's unblockable throws. I think Eris explained it the best, where he said some things in Tekken you just have to explain it to them in a very basic way and then let them figure out the rest. If you tell them all this stuff, you'll overload them with information and they will just either quit or they'll collapse under the pressure of it all. And I think Tekken shouldn't be that way. But the reason why Tekken is that way is because they're not trying to make the game easier to learn. They're trying to make the game easier to dogpile someone. They want someone who knows nothing about the game to be able to throw all this stuff at you, and then you who know actual defense drown in it. That's how they keep the skill gap in check. Not by having clear and concise messaging through gameplay. It's by making it confusing. If you confuse it and it's stuff all over the screen and there's stances everywhere, a player who normally would react very calm, consistent, knowledgeable, you start having to guess. And that's one thing that people don't take into consideration with this game, is like the developers made it confusing on purpose. Do you think it was an accident that so many of these things go into a stance mix-up that has 8-way mix-ups? 62 downvotes. God. This request is from an Asuka main. Please make a new move. Just when you think that we had enough moves, someone asks for a new move. For Asuka, that utilizes the 3 kick from Asuka's jab low kick string 13. The low kick as a standalone new move would benefit her gameplay while also not being overpowered in terms of overall balance as a whole. How do you know? You're asking for a new move for what? And you're saying this. I love how people ask for the craziest things and say it's not going to be broken. What are you saying? What are you saying? Let's see what this other one is. I would also request for Asuka's backdash to be buffed. As it stands now, her backdash is leagues behind most of every other character in the game. Only King has worse backdash. 2 things about this. 1, comparing your movement to another character is kind of dumb. Someone gotta has the worst sidestepping. Some character gotta have the worst backdashes. Some character has to have the worst combos, the worst Oki. You know, this is kind of the problem with Tekken 8, where everything's homogenized. Every character has good damage. Every character has good pressure. Every character, you want your character to have good backdashing just because every other character has good backdashing? I mean, you make a good point about your character being defensive, but then point number 1, where you were talking about giving her more offensive options, where was the defensive element in that statement? You're talking about defense, but you're talking about giving your character more options to attack. This is what I mean. People just be saying stuff just to fit whatever narrative. And in literal point number 1, you're talking about giving your character more offense. And in point number 2, you're talking about how your character is supposed to be defensive and you should be able to backdash. You got to pick one, bro. Do you want more moves so you can keep the pressure, or do you want to play defense? That's it. Thank you for watching, everyone. Like and subscribe, and bye-bye.